What is all this hype about John Mayer? Who is this guy? Why, apart from his impressive list of celebrity girlfriends, should I be interested in this weak and his guy? So today we're going to get into just why everyone seems to love John Mayer 20 odd years after he came onto the scene. Isn't he too old now? First things first, let's give you some context. John Mayer is an American-born singer-songwriter from Bridgeport, Connecticut. His father, Richard, was a high school principal, and his mother, Margaret, was a middle school English teacher. By all accounts, they didn't get along that well, and so John used music as a way to escape the parental drama. Following high school, he moved to Berklee College of Music in Boston, but quickly realized that he was far better off just getting famous on his own. So he left and moved to Hotlanta, where he decided to prove that he could become famous without an expensive 4-year degree. Now, a bunch of other stuff happened. Then in 2006, he released an album called Continuum. Now, if you don't know Continuum, it's sort of akin to, the world before and after, the printing press, the American Reformation, the Revolution, the invention of Velcro. This was a major shift in John's career. This was the first time that he released an album with blues and soul elements on it. Previously, his albums had more of a pop rock aesthetic, and let's just say that people loved this new direction for John Mayer. The album was nominated for 3 Grammy Awards, of which it won 2. And this was really the point in Mayer's history where the guitar bros were forced to sit up and be like, okay, wait, what? Previously, they had to listen to their dumb girlfriends going on and on about this floppy-haired singer-songwriter. But now, here he was, infusing these undeniably tasty blues chops with his masterful pop songwriting. This is really the era where Mayer starts to create that cult guitar following. About a year after the release of Continuum, John uploads this blurry, really terrible quality video from a cell phone of him demoing this prototype amp in a small builder's workshop in California. The company's name was 2Rock. Now, this isn't that same $8,000 2Rock that Mayer was using in the video, but it is from the same company. And I'd be lying if I said that I, along with millions of other guitar players, wasn't drooling over the tone he was getting. If you plotted the 2Rock sales pre and post that video on a graph, I'm sure at that point it just shot up. He has to have been the greatest thing that's ever happened to that company.
Wilson, where you going? Idiot! Get back in there at once and sell!
Now, they've since parted ways, quite unamicably, as I understand from my friends who know the owners at 2Rock, but hey, it still sounds great. But still, why does he have such a cult following after all this time? He still has legions of fans that come out to arenas and even sometimes stalk him. Let's break it down this way. I recently saw him in concert when he came to Toronto for probably the 6th time. During this concert, I saw an interesting phenomenon. Girls would scream when it came time for the guitar solo. You'd probably say that's no big deal. People are trained to scream at guitar solos. It's the novelty of it. But it's not just that they screamed, they then proceeded to scream and then sing along note for note with the guitar solo as if it were a verse. That is not normal. That is something very different. In that same crowd I saw obvious guitar bros there probably just to see a prototype PRS or him play through a Dumble, but I also saw grandmothers, grandfathers, moms, dads, uncles, aunts, and every other family relation you can imagine. Now, to make this clear, let's plot all of these people I just talked about on a spectrum, or
a continuum.
Okay, so over here you've got the cork-sniffing gear guitar bros who live on message boards and only really care about which preamp tube he's got in the V1 position in his steel string singer. And then over here you've got the I literally can't even girls who are just there for the express purpose of Instagram storying a blurry clip of your body is a wonderland. And the through line, which I think connects all of these different fans, is lyricism. The fact that he creates masterful melodies, not just in his lyrics, but in his guitar solos, in his production, in his albums as a whole. You can always sing along. Each song is this little self-contained melodrama. Now, I've completely shown my cards here. I've shown where my bias is. I am a huge fan. Let's get that right out of the way. But just allow me to fanboy a little bit more before I go. I think I also appreciate Mayer, not just for his music, but also his offline persona as well. If you listen to his interviews, he just finesses words and conversations in a way that make it interesting to listen to. It's not just that he's articulate, but he has this way of getting into ideas and backing into thoughts is akin to sort of like a stand-up comedian. Listening to him is like hanging out with that friend who just brings out the wittiest and best parts of you. You feel funnier for having been around them. Some people just know how to tell and to absorb stories in a great way. Listening to Mayer work through these ideas forces you to think like him, and it's fun. If you don't believe me, check out his Sunday night show called Current Mood, or just Google any interview with him. Okay, I've said too much. Now it's your turn. Do you love him? Do you hate him? Is he still relevant? Is he overhyped? Is he underhyped? I want to know what you guys think. See you next time.